friends, welcome back here to League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you, and it's the final week of LCS action, which means there are some insane playoff scenarios, implications, tiebreakers. We only have to look back to 2018 spring in North America, where it was a full-fledged fiesta, and it came down. I mean, TSM went on a run, ended up finishing third, and then lost the clutch.
Some people might say that NA has been a full-fledged fiesta for longer than just the end of the spring
Probably about
split.
2013.
Yeah,
when
something
the LCS
like that.
came
Yeah,
into fruition. But, I mean, there's 7 teams basically vying for 6 playoff spots. So we're going to break down the playoff contenders, how they can make playoffs, and, what kind of tiebreakers they'll be involved in. And we got to start with TSM because they are far and away the most confusing. After a 2-0 week last week, they kept their hopes and dreams alive, and they have a chance to finish in a 5-way tiebreaker for second place. They just got to go 2-0. 100 Thieves has to go 0-2. Fox, Cloud9, FlyQuest will have to go 1-1 in some
This is just simply not acceptable to me to have TSM have a chance to even get that second seed. It's not okay.
They do not deserve a bye.
No, this is not
whatsoever.
okay with me whatsoever. It needs to be the other options here, please.
Yeah, so obviously if they go 2-0, I feel like they won't finish second. Even if they go 2-0, they'll probably slot in that 3-6 area. If they lose to Optic, things get a whole lot more complicated, and that's why that is the key match of the week. If they lose, they need Cloud9 and FlyQuest to go 0-2, which seems pretty unlikely.
I don't think that that's going to happen. Given what we've seen from those two recently, anything can happen in the NALCS, as we know. It's a wild and wacky region. But I don't think that C9 and FlyQuest, go 0-2, and I think that TSM needs to count on beating Optic.
They have to, because you see their other match this week. It's Liquid. That's tough. That is the last match of the week on day 2. So that's a pretty hype one that's going to hold heavy implications for at least TSM and maybe Liquid. And by the way, if TSM goes 0-2, you're done. No chance. Even if other teams start losing, you're done. No TSM in playoffs.
And that means no TSM at Worlds. Also got to keep that in your back of your head there. If TSM missed the playoffs, that's a doozy.
They won't fail to get out of the group stage. Congratulations, Reggie. You did it with the long con. But they definitely need that win against Optic. Let's take a look at Cloud9, who have risen from the ashes. And now, believe it or not, Mark, they could finish first.
Whoa.
First place after starting 2-6.
This is the 2 million IQ Reaper roster changes going on right now.
Yeah, and so finishing first will be very difficult. They have to go 2-0. Liquid has to go 0-2. 100 Thieves have to lose to Optic, and Fox has to lose to Clutch.
So I don't expect it still. Maybe, you know what? I'd like this a lot more than seeing TSM finish second given their season.
Right.
But I don't expect this to also happen.
I mean, the most unlikely thing to happen there is Liquid going 0-2.
Right.
Which doesn't seem likely. But the remaining schedule is pretty tough. Those are 2 playoff teams, and obviously that FlyQuest match, maybe even more important than the TSM Optic one, because they are both rocking those 9-7 records. And whoever wins that, going to be finishing pretty high.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a big matchup to watch and cue in on there. And when you're talking about and looking at this FlyQuest C9 matchup, it's really going to be important to see which of the mid lane jungle duos that Cloud9 want to bring into this one. We don't know exactly who they've been scrimming in that lineup against FlyQuest, and so who they think FlyQuest is more prepared for. But I think that we're going to possibly see Jensen and Blabber back in for this one is my expectation, and I think that's a pretty darn good duo heading into FlyQuest.
Yeah, there's going to be some serious mind games going on from Cloud9 in this final week. We didn't show you Optic there, by the way, because they have pretty much the exact same implications as TSM. They play each other, they have the same record, so that's why we didn't show you them. But let's move on to the likes of Echo Fox, because FlyQuest, much like TSM and Optic, has a similar thing to Cloud9, but Echo Fox, they can finish number 1 if they go 2-0. They just need 100 Thieves and Liquid to both go 0-2, which again, highly unlikely.
Not expecting that one as well. Clinching playoffs with a win, that is something I'm expecting, but missing playoffs here, no. Not going to happen. Don't worry about that one. Everyone forget it, ignore it.
It's not, I mean, they should be Clutch.
Hey, yeah, like I'm telling you, Hooney's not going to be feeding that much to lose to Clutch. Okay?
You don't think Hooney gets dumpstered by Solo?
It's possible. We've seen that type of thing happen, but I don't think, not this time. I think, Echo Fox will clean it up heading into this last week.
It's not completely out of the realm of possibility that they do go 0-2 and then lose a tiebreaker to the winner of TSM Optic. So, well, but they should clinch. Don't see them finishing first, but they'll probably go 1-1. I don't know if they can beat Liquid. Another second place team, 100 Thieves, heading into the final week. They are sitting pretty well, obviously 10-6. They're a game ahead of all these 9-7 teams. They go 2-0. They got a bye. They could get number 1 if Liquid goes 0-2. Again, unlikely to happen. They could go all the way to number 6 if they go 0-2 and then lose a tiebreaker to some of these other teams.
And I was hoping that 100 Thieves would really show me something special last week that would make me feel like they're definitely a team to watch heading into these playoffs. Oh, they showed me something special, all right. They showed me the special of them throwing away many chances of beating TSM in that long matchup. I don't like this one, and I'm really not liking their chances here in this last week.
Well, they hold the fate of the teams below them in Cloud9 and Optic. If they go 2-0, they're really going to hurt their playoff chances. But if they go 0-2 and then all these other teams go 2-0 as well, seeing them slide all the way down to number 6 would be the total opposite of what we saw in spring, where they were hanging out at the top of the standings all the time and fell all the way to number 6. Lastly, we got the number 1 team in North America, Team Liquid. Win a game, you get number 1. Well, that's pretty simple.
That's as simple as it gets. And I think that when you're looking here, though, at this schedule, it's not as simple as that, as just pick up a win, lock it up. Because when you're looking at here, Echo Fox and TSM, yes, they've had their weaknesses at times, but stacking up against Team Liquid, you might look at this matchup and say, you know what? For the most part, they should be okay here. They should be finding ways to get to that late game. Of course, that's if Sven and Mithy are not feeding into Doublelift and Ole early, like they have done in the past. So I'd be looking at that bot lane matchup specifically in the TSM TL matchup to round out that week.
And now Liquid could drop all the way to 4th for the memes, even though the memes are dead because they just won the last split. Although they came in as the 4th seed then. So they could all the way go down to 4th if they go 0-2. Some other teams go 2-0 and then they lose a tiebreaker. But I expect Liquid to at least get 1 win and lock up that top spot. Coming up after the break, we head to Europe to check out those playoff scenarios. They're not quite as crazy as North America, but there's still no idea what the seeding will be. Welcome back to League Unlock. Eric and Mark here ahead of the regular season finale in the LCS, which means it's time to look at playoff scenarios. And out in Europe, it is much less crazy than North America. Not quite as many tiebreakers and nonsense going around. In fact, the top 6 are already set, so let's look at how the seeding can play out. Starting with Splice, the 6th seed, who can go all the way up to number 1. All they have to do is win a game to get in the playoffs.
And first of all, let's just give a big shout out. Congratulations to Europe as an entire region. Thank you for having your playoff scenarios figured out pretty much here. This is pretty simple. All 6 locked in. I like it. And I'm looking here at Splice. I think that they got a really good chance here. Lock it up. That victory at Giants there looking pretty spicy.
Yeah, if they lose that and there is some miracle run where I think Roccat could tie them at 8-10 and there's some ludicrous thing, then Splice, you don't deserve to make playoffs. They should be fine. They can go as high as 5 if they go 2-0 and Vitality goes 0-2. Then they win a tiebreaker. Unlikely to happen. Let's look at Vitality, who is right above them in those standings. They can finish as high as number 1 or as low as number 6. To get number 1, they just got to go 2-0. Fnatic goes 0-2, and Schalke loses 1. But as you'll see in a bit, Fnatic has an easy schedule. Good luck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're talking about Vitality here. All they need to do is to get that first seed is go 2-0. Excuse me, and it's just. Okay, that's not too bad. Well, who do you face here? Oh, you're going up against 11-5 Misfits and 11-5 G2. Good.
To be fair, Misfits are playing like they're 5-11.
Right, and okay, so let's put it this way. I expect Vitality to beat Misfits here. I don't expect them to beat G2, though. That's just how I feel about this one, the way it's going to go. So, sorry, Vitality, you're not going to lock in first place. But hey, you're not going to drop all the way down to 6 with an 0-2 performance.
Yeah, as we've seen G2 last split, they turn it on when it comes to the final couple games in the regular season. And if it comes to a tiebreaker, my money is definitely on G2. A team we didn't expect to be so high is Schalke. After, the rough start, the hype train kind of died off for them, but here they are at 11-5, and they can finish number 1. But again, the caveats for a lot of these guys not named Fnatic is Fnatic has to go 0-2, which is very unlikely.
The Schalke hype train completely derailed at some point this season, but we took a huge risk here to bring it back, revitalize it, and here it is. Now with the ADCs performing well, you've got Upset down there dominating, and I really like what's going on with Schalke. And I think that when you're looking here, nice week for them. You've got Splice, and then of course H2K
Careful.
1 and 15.
The H2 and 16 meme might be there, so be careful, Schalke.
Again, hey, I counted on them on a loss, and I'm still taking them with a loss in that one. I am saying Schalke will win there.
G2, their scenarios are pretty much the exact same as Misfits, so that's why we've only got the G2 board. They clinched number 1 again, 2-0 week, 0-2 from Fnatic, and they also need the other 11-5 squads to at least lose 1. They can go down to number 5 if they go 0-2, but they should beat Giants, although Giants have always given G2 a bit of trouble.
Yeah, this is certainly a week that you want to see G2 kind of put that dominating pants on again and say, hey, we are the team.
It's a nice pair of pants.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the team that you want to be the ones doing all the stomping in the EU LCS here. And they're going to have to stomp out the Giants in the first match of the week for them. And then, hey, you got a good matchup against Vitality, which again, I think that G2 should be able to find a victory in, but I think Vitality is going to be the one to give you some trouble.
Yeah, and I think G2, they've kind of had Vitality's number over the last couple of splits. Although Vitality, I mean, you hold your own destiny. If you go 2-0 this week, you probably won't finish first, but you're definitely going to be towards the top 3 in that area. Maybe a chance at getting a bye, which is something they would definitely enjoy having. Let's look at Fnatic, the top dogs. We've been talking about them. They have to go 0-2 to give other teams a chance. Oh, they play Rocket and Unicorns.
Yeah, and as much as I love for my boy North Scarin there on Rocket, it's not going to really be the week for him here. And it's not going to be the week for the Unicorns of Love. It's going to be the week for Fnatic here. They're going to go 2-0. That's my prediction. I think that it's going to be pretty clean sailings for them right into playoffs.
And that 0.1% where Splice can somehow miss playoffs is, of course, Rocket going 2-0, but they play Fnatic, so good luck with that. Looks like we got our 6 teams set in EU. Who knows how the standings will play out, but expect Fnatic and G2 to be coming out on top because they're the old gods. But that's all the time today for League Unlock. Eric and Mark here with you guys. Thank you so much for watching.